Just as he is about to catch him, Albert manages to escape once again. Then the children who are visiting the museum in the company of Mr. Brown enter the room and, unexpectedly, Yost appears. When he spots Chris, the scientist begins to chase him, as he knows he is also after the dino. As he approaches the lake, Albert sees his reflection in the water and gets scared, so he runs in the opposite direction. Just as he was about to jump from one rock to another, Chris caught up with him and used his backpack to capture the animal. Just then, Yost appears and tries to steal the boy's bag, but he manages to escape and takes a break from the supermarket to buy some food for the dinosaur. As the young man walks through the corridors, Albert is spotted by a dog and almost attacked by it. Then, when Chris is on his way to the checkout to pay for his shopping, a lady sees the hatchling and panics. Frightened by the dog's barking, Albert runs off and, once again, Chris has to go after him. While trying to escape from the supermarket, the dino causes a huge mess and is caught by many people who wonder what the creature is. When Albert finally manages to get out of the store, he spots an elderly man storing his shopping in the trunk of his car and decides to hide inside. At this point, Chris loses sight of his friend and, when he finds him, it's too late as he can't reach the vehicle. When he got home, the elderly man went to get his shopping from the trunk and found the little monster devouring all his food. Immediately, the man ran to get his shotgun and called the police after firing the first shot. Luckily, Albert wasn't hit, but he was captured by the police and taken to the police station. In an attempt to find out where that giant reptile came from, Captain Williams decides to call Dr. Yost. The scientist then says that the specimen has escaped from his laboratory and immediately mobilizes his team to go and get it. A few minutes later, when Chris arrives at the scene, he sees Albert being taken away by the car and goes to meet him at the police station. However, when he realizes that the hatchling is much bigger than it used to be, he gets scared and starts thinking about what to do to get it out of that cage. Sitting on a bench in the police station, the young man meets the guy who gave him the egg and is advised to take the animal to a forest far away from humans, because only then will Albert be safe. At that moment, Dr. Yost appears and says that he is there to recover the specimen that escaped from his laboratory. So, with the help of his team, the man loads the cage with the animal into a van and Chris despairs when he sees his friend being taken away. Luckily, the old man knows where they're going and says he'll help them get there. Meanwhile, Yost feels like the luckiest man in the world for having found a specimen that everyone thought was extinct. The man plans to create several other dinosaurs from Albert's DNA and thus achieve his goal of becoming a rich and famous scientist. According to the old man, Yost and his team are taking Albert to the forest, where they have a secret laboratory. To get there, the old man decides to use a quad bike that he has built himself and, once they have both put on their helmets, he starts it up. On the way, the pair have to stop at a traffic light and Chris ends up being caught by his father. Luckily, the man is exhausted from his work and comes to the conclusion that he is seeing things that don't exist.